That's fully.
Record in progress, Chris. Watch what you say. All right, so explain what a secondary group is, detail qualities of a secondary group. Also explain the 5 different types of social interaction. Give examples of each. There we go. There we go. What the heck? There it is.
Oh yeah, that video.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. That's why I probably don't want to show it. Yeah, because I just remember that.
Oh, you better run because she's a yeah.
Rob said that that's how we got all the women.
He's a little upset. I'll have all the receipts. What are you gonna say to her? He doesn't agree. He put her a bad word. Yeah.
So we are done with the first marking period now. So any assignments that are posted, so like the status group web, which I'm thinking about moving it back just because I want to talk about 2 experiments in psychology that reflect groups and statuses and roles. So I'm thinking maybe next week. I know I signed it real early, but hey, it is what it is. But I kind of want to talk about that first before I have that assignment. So I'm thinking maybe next week I'll have that assignment due, maybe on Monday. If I can talk about one experiment tomorrow, the other on Friday, and then the status web due on Monday, that'd be good.
On Monday?
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
that means that we're presenting on Monday.
What's that?
So we're presenting on Monday.
Most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, he told us we're presenting our web.
I want to see your
Is there
web.
any special thing that you know?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That assignment's supposed to help you with the amendments.
Yeah.
Well,
To know
way,
the amendments.
either way,
Either way, you zip it 1 second.
my group has 36 slides, so
36.
We detailed each one. Good for you. Individually.
Well, there you go. You should know the amendments then.
I know.
You'll be prepared for the quiz Friday.
How you do
Is
it?
the quiz gonna have all you know?
Wait, this Friday?
Yeah. Hey, be cool if you just explained them all, right? You
Wait,
know
wait,
them.
talk about sociology?
I can list them for you.
Oh, okay.
Amendment 1. Amendment 2. Pretty good. Amendment 3. That's what you were saying yesterday.
What?
I'm just joking.
Wait, no. How is it gonna be? Like the test? How is it gonna be multiple choice? Be matching? How is it?
I don't know. You'll find out.
No. I'm pretty sure you should just give us a little hint. Yeah, just a little.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because
Would you be talking to your professors like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. All right. So secondary group. What is it? What does it mean? Roy, what's a secondary group?
Like a group that is not like family or friends, but accomplish something outside of.
Yeah. So it's goal oriented, right? There's an objective that these groups are trying to establish. On the secondary group, what's an example of one? Go ahead, Madden. What's that? Yeah. Like the amendments yesterday, right? You're cussing me out, screaming at me. It was recorded. So YouTube sees everything.
No, she was ready to like.
How I'm treated by my students
You told
here.
me I only had to explain the 5 amendments that I picked for the top 5. Not every single one. So I just listed them. Like,
Well, how does it sound? Oh, these amendments up here, not so good, but it's
yeah, I
okay.
listed them.
Amendment 3, 1, 4. I was like, what? I don't know. Sorry,
She
Madden.
was like, did you see how pretty I made my slide?
What about Jeffrey? His was pretty good.
This was funny.
It was funny. Pop culture
He
too.
was a little too much.
What, Jeffrey Griffiths?
Oh, he kicked butt. All right. So anyway, what's an example of a secondary group? Madden already said teacher and student, right? Okay, that's a good example. He might be goal oriented for obviously helping you achieve, knowing your amendments, right? Yeah. Also with sports. Okay, so Chris, soccer, that's a good secondary group that you can explain, maybe on your status and group web. That'd be great. All right, so explain 5 different types of social interaction. Brianna, give me one of them. Social exchange. Okay, what does that mean? Here it is, listing, not explaining. Love to do it, right? Love to hear it. Okay, all right. So it's more like, hey, if I do something for you, what do I get in return, right? So good example. Someone wants to mow my grass. Hey, I'll give you a pat in the back, right? No, just kidding. Probably pay it. Probably give you money. Yeah, probably give you money. Yeah. Someone explains their amendments, give them extra points on their assignment, right?
So that means I get extra points.
Oh,
today?
come on, man. All right. Okay. So what's another example of social interaction? So the social exchange is a good one. Taylor, go ahead. Cooperation. And give me an example of cooperation. What does it mean? Oh, come on. You're overthinking it. Yes.
Like working together.
Working together. Okay. Well, there we go. All right. Just not trying to confuse you here. So cooperation, so people that come together to accomplish a certain goal, activity, right? So I know I talked the other day about golfing. I was in scramble, right? I was in scramble the other day with my one friend, and we performed miserably. We did not win whatsoever. I think we came third to fourth to last. But hey, we didn't come in last, so not bad. Not bad. So that's a good example. All right, another form of social interaction. Sarah?
Conflict.
Conflict. Ooh, yeah. What do we have here?
When like individuals work together.
Okay. All right. Okay. So maybe or there is a certain conflict where it pushes people together, right? So people that might necessarily not come together on certain terms, or you might not have any type of interest with each other, but a certain conflict brings people together. Okay. So a good example, maybe like 9/11, right? Especially on that day, all these people coming together to try to help people survive that event. And that conflict occurred. And again, many people might not know each other at that time or interact with one another. But if a conflict arises, people come together to try to obviously save each other in that case. All right, another example, social interaction. Chris? Oh, are you kidding? You're not paying attention.
Social exchange.
We already said it.
Conflict.
Already said it. Already said it.
There's two more.
Conformity.
Conformity. Okay, there you go. Wow. All right.
Wait, what? No, we're looking at qualities and patterns. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, what?
All right. So adapt behavior to fit in, right? So conforming to certain norms, okay, maybe values. And we'll talk about the group think today and how some people maybe conform to certain rules or guidelines, even though that maybe goes totally against their beliefs or values. And I think we can all agree that happens in many cases, especially in a group setting. We're all sitting together. We all come together. Oh, this is our answer. This is our objective that we want to accomplish. But you kind of go along with the group. You just don't really voice your opinion because it's a group effort, right? And even though that you're maybe clash against your beliefs or your guidelines, you just kind of go with it rather than maybe voicing your opinion against the whole group itself. I think we all can maybe agree to that. That happens every now and then in our lives. Okay, last one. Go ahead, Taylor. Coercion, good job. And what does that mean? What's that? All right, yeah, okay. So almost like force, right? You're forcing someone into, let's say, giving you what you want or what you desire. And I think yesterday I talked about interrogation, right? So interrogation, that's a good example. Coercion. All right, good job, good job. Is there any questions on that, guys? All right, terms for today. Here we go, terms. Uh-oh. So we're going to finish up talking about certain groups. And like I said, tomorrow I'd like to get involved in some experiments, psychology that reflects groups, roles, statuses. That I think is a good example of how they kind of all come together. You have group think, in-group, out-group, reference group, social network, and aggregate. There we go. Are you still mad? Hmm?
I don't care. You give me my grade.
Okay. What's up? I thought you said the name. You get in trouble.
No.
Is
that for pictures?
Oh, that poor kid. You guys are crushing it.
What was his caption? Call each other a boo.
She must have seen that. Oh my God. She said, that's so
I made fun of him yesterday and felt bad because.
Why do you feel bad?
He is so
I know.
mean. He
I
makes
know.
fun of everybody else.
Normally.
Hey, we're recording, okay? Yeah.
He doesn't want to hear them.
My video is gonna get taken down off of YouTube. There goes all my followers. We're like, hey, looking forward to the social video today.
Tell them what would happen if we get.
They probably watch the videos for our
Can we
conversation.
have a party if you get to 50 subscribers?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll follow. I'll get you some.
Hey, like and subscribe to the history teacher. You guys should put it all in your bios on your social media platform.
I have a Band-Aid, please.
I don't have any. I ran out. Taylor actually took the last one. What?
Yeah, you're not prepared.
I just asked her exchange for some. She said to come down. So, do you want to go down and grab one and bring the Band-Aids to me?
I'll try to finish my vote.
All right.
Yeah. That was fun. What was this? This was like freshman year. I do not biology. Or posted on like Instagram with the meiosis video and how the different stages of how the people.
Yeah. And she actually gave us the extra credit.
Why did she see it? Yeah, you have to show.
You had to show her.
Nice. Meiosis.
I don't think I.
Yeah, you probably didn't need to.
So what do I gotta do to make you put the crazy hot matrix on me?
We're not putting it on. What are you talking about?
Shares. Yeah, Alex.
Is it going viral?
Alex was showing it.
Yeah,
all the way up, and he was showing Mr. Rupp.
and he showed Rupp too.
Oh my gosh.
He goes, when she breaks into her heart, he's gonna be shattered.
I hope not.
I don't feel bad. I saw this coming. Yeah, you did? Yes, the one that was at Sheets, and they come in together, and I just knew them. Just the way
I
they were
saw
acting.
that.
What did you say? Oh, hey,
yeah,
see you Monday.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because she like talked about him like every first. Oh my gosh, like Friday night.
Yes,
like,
she did that in history.
Oh, I know, like he was. Oh my gosh, that's like King and. Like,
Oh, righty. Okay. Group think. What do we have? What do you have for group think?
I'm going to run.
Taylor, go ahead.
It's psychological phenomenon that the desire for
Okay. All right. So with groupthink, I kind of already talked about this with a certain example of conformity and how people in a group obviously have some tendencies to conform to that said group. And I know there's many times when I was in a class in college when I was too afraid to speak out because I might have been incorrect or wrong. So whenever we were coming together as a group to give an answer, I just conformed to everybody else's opinion, to their answer, even though maybe I had something totally different. It's like, oh yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. And then the teacher's like, oh, no. Or the professor's like, nope, this is the actual answer. I'm sitting there with the right answer. Oh, man, I look like a genius if I would have said something. But we all kind of fall into that where we just conform to the group's thinking. Make sense? Pretty self-explanatory, right? So when I ask tomorrow what groupthink is, it's not try to think too hard about it. In group. What's the in group? Go ahead, Chris.
generally members.
What's that?
Like a social group that 41.
Yeah, good job. So an in-group would be like, oh, like we are going to, hang out, or we are doing very well and performing at a high level. If you're talking about a team, okay, you obviously conform to that group, that you belong to that group. You have a group, obviously you feel like you are belonging into that group. An out group, what is an out group, Sarah? Yeah, good job. So you might not fit in, you might not agree with like that group. Okay, so you're saying, oh, that's them. Okay. that is, they are acting outlandish. I'm not a part of that group. I don't associate with those people involving in that group. Okay. So like, let's just say there's a group of people that are causing havoc across the town and spray painting things and vandalizing. It's like, oh, that was them. They were acting out of line. I wasn't anyway part of that. Right, Roy? You wouldn't vandalize anything, would you? Thank you. Appreciate it. Band-Aids. Okay. Reference groups. What do we have? Go ahead, Leah. All right, yeah, good job. So reference group, we're kind of comparing it to other said groups, and we're really understanding their values, their beliefs, their traditions, and referencing off of our own, right? Okay, social network. Madden. Okay. All right, so it's really a person's, all their social relationships, right? Okay, so if you're looking at a social network, it's everyone's relationships and how it fits into other set groups. So this kind of is like a web, right? In a way, that you're looking at all the relationships you have, all the groups that you belong with, and that you're a part of a said social network, okay? All right, aggregate, last one here. Go ahead, Leah.
Collection of people who happen to be at the same place at the same time but have no connection.
Yeah, so like if you're going to, I don't know, Tegan's going to Dunkin' or Starbucks. She's in a line with a group of people that she never met before, and she's just there only to get a coffee, and she shares that relationship with that person only to get a coffee. But otherwise, they wouldn't really talk. They wouldn't really communicate with one another. They might not have the shared interests past getting a coffee. Okay, so it's almost like you're a stranger, but at the time, you're involved in a group because you're getting coffee together. Right, Tegan? Whenever you're getting coffee, do you just talk to people in line? Okay. See, I like talking. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going?
Everyone's in their own world.
What? Oh, come on. You got to be social. You got to reach out, meet new friends, meet new people. I do talk to strangers.
Talking to strangers is dangerous.
Nah, maybe, especially me since I'm so short, right? Oh, hey, quit talking that.
They just pick you up and carry you.
You brought that one on yourself.
Quit talking to that little boy up there. Hey, what the heck? Oh, he has a beard. Holy cow. I'm crushing myself here, right? Yeah. Look at this mini Batman.
I told him that he's standing up for us short guys.
All right, already. I can joke about myself too.
That's important. You're supposed to be.
Yeah, how about it? Right, Roy? We take a joke. We can take a joke, right? Actually 6'3", so you're close.
You're 6'2".
Hey, if I wear heels or elevator shoes, maybe I'm there.
Maybe some stilts.
Yeah, stilts. All right, guys. Hey, groupthink. All right. So, group of people coming together to discuss certain situations, certain objectives, or maybe it's a conflict that they're trying to maybe find a solution to. And with a groupthink, these are the people that conform to certain issues. Okay. Like I mentioned before, good example, you're in class and the whole group is having to come together to come up with an answer. And maybe you just conform to that set answer that the whole group's kind of coming along with, even though you might have a totally different belief or an idea of what needs to go down. There's multiple answers that might arise, but as a group, you come together with one solution, one answer. And if it goes horribly wrong, then you're just sitting back, oh, hindsight bias, right? You're just like, oh, maybe I should have spoke up a little bit. Maybe I should have showed my own perspective or explained my reasoning and solution to this solution or this question, sorry. And trying to solve the disputes of, let's say, a certain conflict. So, good example, Bay of Pigs invasion. You guys remember the Bay of Pigs? Know the Bay of Pigs? What? Roy will talk about it towards the end of the year. I don't know if Mr. Henninger talked about it with you guys at all, like AP. No? Oh, okay.
Cuba, right?
Yeah, Cuba. Good job.
I paid attention.
Yeah, Cuban rebels aided by the United States to try to overthrow the communist government in Cuba. And this kind of heated tensions towards Soviet Union, United States. Right? moving into the Cold War, and this sets up the Cuban Missile Crisis. There you go. There you go.
Do you
Me?
have a personal example? No.
I did, but I don't know if you're here for that. Oh, just joking. But yeah. I did talk about it a little bit when we were going over Guantanamo Bay. Remember? I said, oh, yeah, we get the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, how that's evolved from there. Tegan remembers when she's not on her phone in the back of class. Oh, geez. Now I'm crushing everybody left and right. Come on, whose turn is it, right? I already hit myself a couple times. All right, so why does groupthink occur? Well, a lot of times because people try to conform to the group. Right? You just agree with other people's intentions or beliefs or thoughts of a certain really solution or for a certain answer. And for a lot of the reason, we just don't want to speak out because we don't want to look down. Right? Our individualistic idea might present itself as us not really coping or us maybe falling behind, let's say the group as a whole. So we don't want to look like the outcast in a way, right? We don't want to get booted from the group depending on our answers to certain questions or our solutions to certain issues. So if we speak out of term, or if we are constantly vocal, maybe that will get us kicked out of the group. I think we all agree to that. You know, we'll maybe have someone in our friend group or in our class that speaks out often and kind of view them as a, oh, this guy again, you know, this guy's speaking out of turn again. Here we go. But again, that's how we conform, why we conform to certain groups. Like I mentioned, I'll talk about certain experiments in psychology that reflect this role, status, and groups that we've been talking about with the Milgram study, okay, and with the Stanford prison experiment, which are all both very good experiments when talking about groups and conformity and how far we'll actually really go if we're involved in a group, which is pretty alarming. Okay, so the Stanford prison experiment talks a little bit about how the roles and statuses of prisoners and prison guards. Look at this, the Milgram study try to resemble and reflect Nazi Germany. Okay, how these people in Nazi Germany conformed to certain issues and really performed a lot of these terrible, terrible acts on other people because what the group was all getting involved in. Oh man. All right, so groupthink, so more characteristics of it. Because difficulty of going against decisions made by a group, I kind of already talked about that. Happens when group members agree to conform rather than express their true feelings or beliefs. I already talked about that as well. Appears as if the group agrees, but they really don't. Same thing. We don't want to be a conflict. We don't want to be a contrast to the whole group itself. So that's kind of why we just agree to terms. We just kind of go along with the answer that's presented by the group. And like I said before, it can lead to ineffective, destructive consequences where the group might break off, okay, where they might be a divide in the group, or one person that's outspoken and delivers their said experience or their belief on a certain matter. They might get pushed out of the group. No one wants that. No one wants that. I know a lot of times, the coaching especially when it comes to football, right when I was coming out of college, getting involved in coaching, I was like, oh, maybe we can get involved in this formation, do some of these plays. And I didn't speak out because I was the young guy. It's like, oh, I should probably just keep my mouth shut, pipe it down. But after the game, it's like, oh, well, maybe this could have worked. Maybe if I would have spoke up and said something, hindsight bias, right? Maybe if I would have maybe gave my opinion. At the time, I was just conforming the group, just agreeing to terms. And after that, after the loss, it's like, hey, maybe we can do this. Oh, great idea. Wish you would have brought it up before. I know, right? They don't look like the outcast. All right, so the in-groups, out-groups. So like I mentioned before with the vocab, in-groups is who we belong with. We have a sense of belonging to that said group. So with your soccer team, okay, your softball team, whatever it might be. What is it, the Trojanettes? Yeah. Okay, I just think that's funny, the Trojanettes. That's just a funny name, Trojanettes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Are you the lead vocalist?
There's
Oh, all right. So it's an acapella. Ooh, that's pretty neat. Is your favorite movie Pitch Perfect? No. It's a good movie. Real good movie. I like Fat Amy in it.
Yeah, she's not fat.
I know.
Oh yeah, she lost some weight. Yeah. Skinny Amy. Or I guess mid-size Amy. I don't know. Whatever. Here I am, fashion people's. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm stopping now.
She bashed her.
She did. She's the one who came up with the name. It's like me making fun of my height earlier.
Short Bowman.
Oh,
Small Bowman.
Shorty. All right. I always like the names that definitely don't fit. Like when we were playing softball over the summer, there's an Amish guy. His name was Shorty, but he was like 6'4". So I always get a kick out of it. Oh, come on, Shorty. Come on, Shorty. Let's go, Shorty.
You're playing with the Amish, like softball?
Well, they had a team. Oh, we're low on teams. We need to accept some people in. What's wrong with the Amish here? They're actually really good. Yeah. They whooped everyone. Yeah. They'd probably go to Clemson full ride. All right, out group. So again, people we don't consider within our group. Okay, you might be looking at their actions, their viewpoints as totally maybe taboo, right? Or you don't totally agree with them, so you constantly try to conflict with them. And you view them as they, them. I don't want to be belonging to that said group. Totally against it, right, Chris? Is there a group that you don't agree with?
Society or
Yeah. Maybe it's a political group. Let's not bring politics in. Okay.
I'm not politics.
That's definitely a big one. You can use it as an example. Oh, them. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it because right away, oh, that's who you belong with. Nope. All right. Reference groups. Group used to self-evaluate the formation of attitudes, value, beliefs, and norms. So how we can reference ourselves depending on our characteristics, our values, our beliefs. Okay, and then reference it comparable to our own. In a way, I guess you can compare ourselves to other said groups depending on their characteristics, depending on their beliefs and attitudes. Social network, all a person's social relationships make up his or her own social network. So who you're part of in school, what friend group, okay, what you're part of on, let's say, an athletic team, or maybe a church group. Okay, all these people that you interact with, that you maybe have a primary relationship with, if you're involved in a primary group or a secondary group, they all belong to your social network. It's like the movie, Social Network, right? About Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Andrew Garfield's in it. And Jesse Eisenberg. Good movie, right, Bree?
Yeah,
I think it's called the Social Network.
yeah, I know what you're talking.
You want to bet? Soda? Bet a soda on it, Leah? All right. I was going to say I made a bet with Alex. I've yet to get my soda. Yep. Probably won't get it. He's mad at me. Aggregate based on proximity at a given time. So this is an example I gave when we're going over vocab. Let's say teens going to Starbucks, getting her coffee, getting her fix, right? And all of a sudden there's some people in line with her. She might not ever associate with them, might not have similar interests. But at the time, they're together. They're in a group. And let's say a crime happens outside. Well, there's some customers in there and Starbucks line. Tegan belongs to that group now, even though she might not have any interest with them at all. Could totally disagree with them on many different occasions like politics or interests of entertainment. At that time, she's associated with those people. All right. Is there any questions on that, guys? We good?
Yeah.
All right. So like I said, tomorrow we'll talk about the Stanford Prison Experiment and the Milgram study, how that reflects roles, groups, and statuses. I think you guys will enjoy it. I have a pretty long video for the Milgram experiment. And it really is pretty crazy. So, all righty. That's all I got for today.
Today feels like a Thursday.
Huh? It does, doesn't it?
And I feel like tomorrow's Friday.